Hey, Bears fans! I'm Derek and I'll update you on everything happening in Chicago. The 2023 NFL trade deadline is quickly approaching. It seems fitting it lands on Halloween this year. Some teams will trick, while others get a treat. In 2022, the Bears traded away two defensive players, Roquan Smith and Robert Quinn, ahead of the trade deadline. They also made the ill-fated decision to acquire wide receiver Chase Claypool from the Pittsburgh Steelers. Regardless of what you think of those moves, General Manager Ryan Poles has proved he isn't gun-shy when it comes to shaking up the roster. Let's check out great potential today. First of all, click subscribe and turn on notifications, receive all the news from Chicago firsthand. If you love Bears, don't waste time, be one of our members. Well, will he make any moves this year? I don't buy the rumors that cornerback Jalen Johnson will be traded. I don't think the Bears will be sellers. In fact, I think they'll be buyers. No, I don't think Chicago will be aggressive with the goal of making the playoffs. They're 2-5. But adding talented players at the 2023 trade deadline will pay dividends in 2024 and beyond. The Bears still don't have a premier defensive end on the roster despite acquiring Yannick Ngakoue, and players who are rumored to be available would fill that huge need in Chicago's defense. There's also a relative lack of blue-chip talent at edge rusher in the 2024 NFL draft class. Watch, this one is a two-fair since they play for the same team. According to Josina Anderson, several teams who are interested in acquiring either of the premier pass rushers from the Washington Commanders also have the means not only to make the deal but also to offer the player a long-term extension immediately. This has Ryan Poles' fingerprints all over it. The Bears are set to have the second most cap space of any team in 2024. They have considerable draft capital to move in a trade and still lack a ferocious pass rush on the defensive line. Both Sweat and Young have 5 or more sacks through 7 games, and while Sweat is a little older at 27, Young is only 24. This would be a complex trade to pull off. Interdivisional trades don't happen very often, and they usually come at a premium. However, Minnesota Vikings GM Kwesi Adofo-Mensah has made several deals already with the Detroit Lions and Green Bay Packers, so why not swing one with Chicago? Per Ian Rappaport, the Vikings are getting calls about Hunter, but it's unclear if there's any interest from Minnesota in moving on from their best defensive player. Like Young and Sweat, Hunter is in the last year of his existing deal and would need an extension. He's 28, so a new deal would likely be a little cheaper than Young, but the cost of the trade itself would likely be a bit higher than Bears fans might prefer. Still, for a guy with a league-leading 9 sacks through 7 games and still in his prime, no price may be too high for Ryan Poles and Matt Eberflus. Crosby has been one of the league's best pass rushers this year, though Bears fans were thankful to see him have a down game against Chicago in Week 7. He just signed a 4-year, $94 million contract with Las Vegas before the 2022 season, but the Raiders are on the verge of a complete meltdown. There are rumors of discontent in the locker room with some star players, and Josh McDaniels is on the hot seat. Another lousy loss like their Week 7 game could prompt the Raiders to become sellers at the deadline. Crosby would command serious draft capital in a deal and maybe a player as well. This one feels like a long shot, but Poles should still check in. If you were Ryan Poles, which of these available players would you make a trade and guarantee for Chicago? Leave your analysis in the comments. Remember to leave your like and subscribe to the channel. Be another fan of our community and let's strengthen the Bears. Until the next video.